Welcome to CINEPRO, where we bring your favorite movies back to life with quick recaps, hidden details, and everything you missed. The series begins as a girl in a picture hanging on the wall starts to smile and even moves her eyes. She feels like someone is near her. She notices scratches on her nails while heading to the bathroom. From afar, a ghostly figure appears, hidden from sight. As she places the cigarette in her mouth, she hears a terrifying sound in the bathroom next to her. She peers under the door and sees a strange woman disappearing inside the bathroom stall. Everything calms down, and silence fills the space. Suddenly, the ghostly figure appears in front of her with a face covered in blood, laughing and saying, "I've found you." In the next scene, Sio appears upside down, her head below and her legs above, with the bathroom drenched in blood, resembling the aftermath of a horrific crime. The focus returns to the earlier picture, but this time, Sio's mouth twists into a creepy smile, like a distorted grimace. Then, a taxi driver on the road. It becomes clear that the story is connected to the ghost of the Erie Highway. The episode begins with the taxi driver dozing off. He struggles to keep his eyes open. While driving, he notices the traffic lights flickering. To handle the situation, he pulls over to rest for a bit. The time is around 3:30 a.m. Eventually, the driver falls asleep until a strange girl enters and sits in the back seat, asking him to take her to the Sanjiang Hotel. The driver nods to wake himself up and tries to locate the hotel, but the girl eerily directs him, saying, "Turn right," even though there's no road there. He tells her she's crazy and continues driving straight. Suddenly, she extends her sharp, claw-like nails, trying to grab him. He angrily turns to look back, only to find that she's not there. He turns again to see her standing in front of the car. He slams on the brakes, hitting his head on the steering wheel. The girl reappears in the back seat, crying tears of blood. The driver screams in terror. She ties him to the chair, removes her eyes, and offers them to him as he screams in agony. He watches with his own eyes as her eyes are taken out. The scene changes to the taxi driver without his eyes. Driving the taxi on its own, it ends with a shot of his eyes lying on the road. Then, two schoolgirls browsing the internet, debating whether the video they're watching is a hoax. Feeling hungry, they rush inside to eat. As they climb the stairs, one of the girls twists her ankle. She runs to find help in the classroom and finds a creepy doll next to her books. When she opens her locker, she feels something is wrong, leaves it, and walks into the hallway, only to hear a terrifying laugh behind her. The camera shifts to the doll, which suddenly smiles. The girl, Min, is startled when she sees a zombie girl writhing on the floor. The zombie rises on its hands and feet and moves toward Min. She runs quickly down the stairs, but the staircase seems endless, as if she's stuck in a loop. Every time she looks, she finds herself on the same floor where her friend fell and twisted her ankle. Unfortunately, the zombie catches up with her, its glowing yellow eyes shining brightly. It starts to multiply. Min screams in fear. The scene cuts to her friend, who climbs to the upper floor while the zombies sneak below to chase her. Then, in a classroom where a group of girls talks about a girl named Jin Jian, who jumped in front of a car while walking. The teacher interrupts them with a stern look, as they are discussing the death of the same girl whose photo was seen on the wall in the beginning. It turns out the deceased student was bullied. She participates in a group chat. Hai Su leaves the group feeling guilty. She immediately calls the teacher, asking her to meet in the classroom, wearing red high-heeled shoes. The teacher arrives, but finds Hai Su's shadow, which looks different from before. There are scratches and blood on her face, and her leg is twisted and severed. The teacher realizes that this is actually the dead girl, Jin Jian. The girl smiles and tells her that Hai Su's legs don't fit her. Jin removes the teacher's legs, silencing her screams. Jin then puts on the red shoes and stumbles out of the classroom, dragging herself awkwardly. The episode ends with her limping through the hallways. Then, a famous urban legend about a multi-dimensional elevator. The episode begins with a boy standing in the elevator. Suddenly, he clutches his ears in pain, looking as if he sees something in front of him. He begins convulsing and collapses. In the morning, the police arrive to investigate the case. They discuss in detail how the elevator works, including its rumored ability to travel between dimensions at midnight. That night, the lead officer returns to the office to inspect the elevator himself. As the door closes, he looks at the printed instructions he has been holding. Instructions he has been holding and moves between floors. The door opens on the 4th floor, but it's completely dark. Suddenly, he sees a mirrored reflection of himself, as if looking in a mirror. Before he can press the button for the 1st floor, a hand emerges from nowhere and the elevator ascends again. Inside, a strange girl dressed in black appears, asking him to take it down again. When she turns turns her face, it's grotesquely twisted, with one black eye visible. She begins banging her head against the wall, but surveillance footage shows the officer hitting his own head, with no one around him. When the door opens, other officers standing outside notice that the uniform the deceased officer is wearing resembles their own in a disturbingly eerie way. Two schoolgirls entering the same elevator, beginning the game anew. Then, in a family home, the mother warns her husband not to remove the charm from the shelf because of the many demons and dead spirits around lately. The atmosphere is tense. The man prepares to leave the room but finds a strand of hair stuck to the doorframe. He pulls the hair hard, but hears a loud, angry scream. After a long day at work, he returns home drunk. He tears up the charm and throws it on the floor. He then goes to his room and collapses on the bed from exhaustion. The door is left open, and blood begins seeping from the house's foundations. Severed limbs crawl into the room, and blood drips onto his face. The man notices a hand crawling on the floor. The hand continues until it reaches a faceless figure. He tries to drive it out of the room, threatening it with no mercy, but it's too late. The strange creature tears him apart with its hands. The man is lying in his blood on the ground. Then a virtual ghost, specifically a ghost haunting Sai. As soon as Sai begins the episode, she receives a lot of comments. Suddenly, while she's talking, a teddy bear behind her falls to the ground. To convince her followers that she didn't do it, she quickly looks back at the screen while talking. Midway through, she thanks her fans for reaching 30,000 followers. She asks her fans to increase the likes, and from there, things start to get more suspicious. A book falls off the shelf, scaring her fans. They begin to ask if this is a prank. Sai quickly ends the live stream, telling them she's going to Peterin to continue the stream. We discover that all of this was an unknown elaborate trick. The camera was still recording, but the comments had stopped. She grabbed her phone and started taking selfies using a filter. Suddenly, the entire screen was filled with filters, as if there were many creatures around her. She froze in place from the shock. Suddenly, she hits the board hard several times and collapses to the ground. Another version of her suddenly appears on the screen, introducing herself as Sai. Then a woman dressed in white descending the stairs to the lower floor. She places a plate full of food and slides it through a small opening. The arms of a starving person grab the plate and pull it away. We learn here about a strange fortune teller named Yom, in a town where children are kidnapped and starved to death. Afterward, their souls are taken and preserved after prayer. This woman descends to the lower floor, grabs a small child, and stabs him repeatedly until he dies. Then, the woman rolls her eyes until a smaller pupil appears, signifying that she is possessed. She goes outside and buries a box containing severed legs. She looks up at the sky and laughs hysterically, then goes back inside. She reads the fortune of another woman, telling her to divorce her husband. The woman, already at her wit's end with her husband, begins to experience the room shaking around her as the reading continues. Another woman, a mother searching for her missing daughter, asks the fortune teller for help. But suddenly, all the candles in the room go out. The spirit of the child is very strong, clearly residing in the fortune teller's eye. A child appears, placing his hand on her forehead to free himself. At night, the fortune teller wakes up, unable to control herself, and convulses. The spirit is fighting her from the inside to escape. In the end, a small hand emerges from her stomach, and she falls to the ground dead. At this point, we see a little boy moving. The camera pans outside, where we find the mother hanging herself from a tree in the same place where the severed legs were buried. If you like the video, subscribe to the channel and activate the notification button so you never miss an updates. See you in the next video. See you in the next swing. She hears a girl screaming for help. We see a girl named Sally trying to escape, with the monster chasing her, holding the axe. He throws the axe at her and it pierces her body. She's on the verge of death, taking her last breaths. Before the monster finishes her off, another masked monster appears. The two monsters start fighting, each trying to kill the other. Kayla seizes the opportunity while they are distracted to help Sally and take her back into the forest. They walk until they find a safe place. Kayla tells Sally, "You can't walk any further because you're bleeding. Stay here, and I promise I'll find some first aid and come back to save you." She covers Sally with tree branches to hide her from the monsters. Unfortunately, the monster follows Sally's blood trail and finds her hiding spot. He pulls her out and says, "I have to kill you to win this game." He ties her to a tree and kills her. At that moment, Kayla hears Sally's screams and realizes the monster has reached her and killed her. Suddenly, a monster appears in front of Kayla and tries to kill her. He was wearing something resembling a pig mask, and Kayla couldn't resist because he was stronger than her. She tried to grab the weapon, but he pulled her away and didn't want to let her go. Suddenly, this monster's head exploded and he died. Here, we understand that she is in a game called the Death Game, and we realize that every girl in the forest has a masked monster responsible for her. The monster protects the girl it is linked to. If one of the girls dies, like Sally for example, whom we heard screaming, her masked monster also dies. This means the monster's head exploded because Sally, the girl it was linked to, died. The only survivor left alive wins the game and earns millions of dollars. Kayla kept walking randomly until she came across a house. She entered to investigate and was walking cautiously, expecting something to pop out at her. Suddenly, a girl appeared behind her, and Kayla accidentally killed her. She discovered that the girl was just a regular person who had also been kidnapped like her. Kayla apologized, saying, "Don't be mad at me. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to kill you." At that moment, two other girls entered and saw her after she had killed the girl. She told them, "I swear, I killed her by mistake. I didn't mean to kill her." Because of her fear, Kayla fainted again. While unconscious, she saw her friend Maddie in a specific location in the forest. Maddie was her friend who had been kidnapped with her at the beginning of the movie. When she saw her in the dream, Kayla realized Maddie was still alive. After a while, Kayla woke up from her fainting spell and saw a girl named Rose sitting alone, scared of her. Kayla told her, "I swear I killed her by mistake. I was defending myself and thought she was one of the monsters in the forest." Rose believed her, and they shook hands. Starting anew, Kayla began telling Rose about what she saw in her dream and how someone was controlling them. She said, "I'm sure we are in a game, and someone is controlling us remotely. They can see us now and know exactly what we're doing. I feel like they did something strange to our eyes." Kayla then had an idea. She decided to remove the eyes of the girl she accidentally killed to confirm whether her theory was correct. After removing the eyes, she found wires connected to the brain, which were linked to the masked monster associated with the girl. Through these wires, the monster could see what the girl saw. Kayla told Rose that only one person could survive, and whenever one of them was killed, their masked monster would die at the same moment. At that moment, Sheena entered, and Maddie explained everything to her, saying that only one of them could survive. Sheena, upon hearing this, began thinking about betraying them so that their monsters would die, leaving her and her monster to win the game. Kayla, sensing Sheena's thoughts, took Rose and left, leaving Sheena alone in the house. A monster spotted them as they entered another house to hide. While in the house, they saw a monster and tried to escape through an opening in the house. However, Rose's leg got caught in a wire, and she couldn't free herself. The monster seized the opportunity and tried to kill Rose. At that moment, Kayla left her and entered through the door, attempting to kill the monster. Rose grabbed a weapon and cut off the monster's fingers, but instead of calming down, the monster grabbed Kayla and slammed her against the wall, trying to put his hand inside her head. Rose, bless her, struck the monster with the weapon. Together, they finished him off until he died. Afterward, they caught their breath, calmed their nerves, and thought about what to do next. They sat down to make a plan. Meanwhile, Sheena escaped, and they were afraid she would kill the other girls. They left the house and followed her. Kayla told Rose to stay behind while she went to talk.